Hello listeners, welcome to the fifth program in our series Let's Learn Geography, which is produced for grade 8 learners and anybody else who has an interest in the subject. My name is Ronald Krotz. Today we learn about the winds of Namibia. Please, again, have a pen and notebook ready so that you can make notes of the important points. And also, don't forget to take part in the quiz at the end of the program. Namibia's main winds are easterly winds, southwesterly winds, and northeasterly winds. This program will shed more light on the different types of winds and how they influence the climate of Namibia. So, at the end of this program, you should be able to identify the occurrence of the following winds and weather maps and describe their effects on the climate of Namibia. The easterly winds and southwesterly winds, and lastly, northeasterly winds.
Mandy, do you know that if the wind is blowing from the south, it usually causes cold conditions? I wonder why is that so?
No, I have no idea. Maybe it's better if we ask our teacher why this is so. I think he'll be able to shed more light on it.
I agree. Let's ask him.
Hi, good morning class. Welcome to the geography lesson for today.
Sorry, sir. Before we proceed, we were wondering why is it that when the wind blows from the south, it brings cold weather conditions?
Oh, thank you, Esther. All right, class. That is quite interesting. Actually, our lesson for today is about the winds of Namibia and their influence on the Namibian climate, and hopefully all your questions about wind will be answered in this lesson.
We hope so too, sir. We are quite eager to learn.
All right, Mandy, let's first start with the easterly wind. This wind blows from the east to the west. The easterly wind is also known as a berg wind. The wind blows out of the Kalahari high pressure system that is dominant over the interior of southern Africa during the winter months of May, June and July. This wind blows across Namibia to the west during winter and causes a rapid increase in temperature at the coastal towns of Namibia during this time of the year when it is supposed to be cold and causes the coast to be warmer with hot and dry wind. Sometimes it also causes sandstorms.
Oh, I see. So, is that why the temperatures are high at the coast during winter? And what about the other types of wind, sir? How do they influence the weather of Namibia?
Well, Esther, here is how the other remaining types of wind affect the climate of Namibia. The southwesterly winds blow out of the South Atlantic high pressure system. The high pressure system is always lying over the ocean to the southwest of Namibia. This wind blows over the cold Benguela current and brings cold air to the southwestern part of Namibia and causes fog along the coastal regions.
Is this why the southern parts and western parts of our country receive less rainfall, sir?
Okay, yes, that is right, Mandy. This wind is cold and dense. It is not rising and leads to clear skies over the southwestern part of the country.
But then what about the northeasterly winds? What do they bring us, sir?
Good question, Esther. The northeasterly winds blow during the summer month. They are also known as the rain-bearing winds of Namibia. They bring rain because the air is warm and moist or contains more water vapor. When this moisture condenses, it forms cumulus clouds and rain falls.
Yes, ma'am, that clears up all of my questions about the different types of winds in Namibia, sir.
I am glad to hear that, Mandy. Any more questions, Esther?
Everything is clear to me. Thanks, sir.
Okay, well then, thank you if that is so. Esther, today is your turn to conclude the lesson.
I nearly forgot about that, sir, but thank you for reminding me. Today, we have learned about the winds and how they influence the climate of Namibia. The 3 types of winds that we learned about are the easterly winds, southwesterly winds, and the northeasterly winds. The easterly winds blow over Namibia from the east to the west during winter and bring warmer conditions at the coast during winter. They sometimes also bring sandstorms. The southwesterly winds blow out of the South Atlantic high-pressure system. This wind blows over the cold Benguela Current and brings cold air to the southwestern part of Namibia and causes fog along the coastal regions. And lastly, we learned about the northeasterly winds of Namibia. They are also known as the rain-bearing winds of Namibia. They bring rain because the air is warm and moist or contains more water vapor. When this moisture condenses, it forms cumulus clouds and then rain falls.
Wow! Thank you so much, Esther. This was a very good summary of today's work. And that brings us also to the end of today's program. But before we say goodbye, here is your question for the day. What are the 3 winds of Namibia that you have learned about? Thank you very much. From myself, Ronald Krotz, the program developer, Yul van Harte, and the Namcol production crew, thanks again for listening. Until tomorrow, take care.
This program was brought to you by Namcol with funding from the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture and the Commonwealth of Learning.